Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Lights blazed overhead as Bradley Walsh paced just off stage, his sharp suit jacket flapping slightly as he leaned forward, fingernails tapping the polished steel rail. The hum of the cameras was a low but constant reminder. This moment mattered. If Shaun Wallace, the reigning champion known as the Dark Destroyer, landed one more devastating clue, Bradley knew the tension would snap like a fraying rope. Across the carpeted stage, Shaun sat, cool, composed, eyes glinting with calculated confidence. The studio lights carved shadows on his tailored suit, giving him an almost mythic silhouette. Tonight, something electric crackled in the air. Bradley clenched his jaw. He tried every tactic: humor, charm, even a half-hearted brush with flirtation. None had worked. Shaun took every clue, overturned every trap. They were two sides of the same sleek, relentless coin. In Bradley's mind, the last stake had been brutal. Just 4 words from Shaun, but they'd rattled him like a thunderclap. "Not your sharpest, Bradley." The casual cruelty stung. Bradley had plastered on a diplomatic smile during the broadcast. Then he'd stormed off behind the scenes, muttering. He'd replayed those words all afternoon. How dare Shaun? The cheeky host couldn't let that pass. No, this round would be different. He stepped out onto the studio floor. The lights glared. The audience leaned forward in their seats, every spectator aware that something dramatic was unfolding. The clue board glistened behind him. The contestant's hopeful face flickered on the monitors. Bradley took a breath, then unleashed a rapid-fire monologue mid-word. "Ladies and gentlemen, welcome." He paused, took a sweep of the audience, and smiled like a man who just tasted victory. But his eyes flicked back to Shaun. The gauntlet was thrown. The recording resumed. A contestant, Rachel from Bristol, was on her hot seat. Bradley breezed through the preliminary questions, setting up the climactic face-off. Shaun sat across the desk, one elbow resting on the wood, fingers drumming, a metronome of menace. Bradley watched him, heart thumping. He rehearsed his next line mentally. A joke, or was it a challenge? Then Shaun leaned forward, voice soft but lethal. "Just keep your collar clean." 4 words. A shot aimed with precision. The audience laughed politely. Bradley's smile froze. His collar. Hey, he'd only dropped a crumb of crisps during the ad break. But Shaun's subtext was clear. "Stayed above your station, Bradley." Bradley swallowed. His throat went dry. The smile was gone. He held his breath, then forced a chuckle. "Right, yes, well," he stammered. From behind the scenes, a director nudged Rachel. "And your first question is..." But Bradley was stuck. Hatred bloomed in his chest, but he was a performer. He could play the game. He had to. An hour later, or so it felt, the show ended. Shaun strutted off, confident swagger in every step. Bradley lingered. He needed to speak, to burn off that dig. "Shaun," he called. Shaun turned, eyebrows raised. He stood by the side door. "Shaun," Bradley said softly, just loud enough for a couple of crew. "Nice dig, by the way." Shaun's expression flickered. He held his gaze. "Just calling them like I see them," he shrugged. Bradley's hands curled into fists. He fought for control. "Ireland's weather doesn't control the clouds itself. Don't get too clever." Shaun blinked, a slow, small smile. "You wanted a word?" Bradley said. "Already got it." Shaun straightened. 4 words, "Not your sharpest, Bradley." That was enough. Bradley's vision narrowed, anger stitched across his face. The lights were off now. The building was hushed. Bradley's personal assistant tapped him on the elbow. "Cocktail party, Bradley." He shook his head. "Not tonight." He stormed down the corridor, heart hammering in his ears. He didn't care where he went. Just had to get out. He passed the green room, then the main exit. Outside, the street lamps cut pools of reflection on the rain-slick pavement. Bradley strode to his car, but Shaun's voice reached him again, echoing like a curse. "Not your sharpest." Bradley paused. Caught between pride and shame, he took a deep breath, dropped into the driver's seat, and started the engine. As the tires rolled away, he scanned the street. Rain dripped steadily from eaves. He felt empty, a performance jester, a walking cliché. He drove aimlessly. Then, as the city lights blurred, he saw movement. A black-clad figure stepping into the street ahead. Someone flagged him down. A pale dagger flashed. Bradley slammed the brakes. The figure rushed the hood, breath ragged, eyes wild. "Need help?" Bradley asked, voice cautious. The stranger pushed back a hood. It was Shaun. No, a man who looked just like him, but twisted, his voice glazed in madness. "You think it's a game, Bradley?" he hissed. "It's a life-or-death chase." Bradley hit reverse, skidding along glistening asphalt. The imposter chased after the headlights with a wordless howl. Bradley screamed, shifted the wheel, spun tires. A chase began through deserted lanes and graffiti tunnels. Inside the car, fight took over. Bradley's chest heaved, the engine thrummed. He zigzagged. The figure stayed close, impossible. Suddenly, the car's interior lit. Bradley stuttered to a stop at a desolate gas station. Lights buzzed overhead. He leaped out, slammed the pump's lever, snatched the nozzle. The figure emerged, Shaun's insane twin. Bradley pointed the hose like a weapon. "Stay back." The figure cocked his head, laughed low. Bradley's finger tightened on the pump release. Darkness crouched around them. Then the nozzle went flying. Bradley lunged. They collided, a tangle of limbs. Slick petrol pulled underfoot. Bradley spat threats, fists slamming. "This isn't real," he yelled. The figure ground teeth, lips curled. "Everything's real." They crashed through the station's signage. The alarm wailed. Bradley punched. One blow, two blows, reflex and ferocity. The figure stumbled, dropped back. Bradley seized the moment, shoved him against the metal wall. "Get away from me," Bradley roared. In that instant, headlights sliced through night, uniforms. Blue lights. The figure slipped, vanished into gloom. Bradley sank to his knees. Sirens echoed. Rain began again. He looked up, panting. "Bradley Walsh?" A voice distant. He nodded. Keyprods creaked, camera phones floated, distant crew rushed over. Bradley closed his eyes. The chase was over, but in the dawn ahead he realized he would survive. He might even come back sharper. And that forward dig, he'd live it down. Tonight he'd earned a story. We've got psychological suspense. Shaun's dig becomes a stalking morph. Action set pieces, a midnight chase through rain and stations. Emotional stakes, Bradley confronting rage, doubt, performance. From here, the story could head into a cat and mouse investigation. Who was the imposter? Was it literally Shaun or someone sent to mess with Bradley? A behind-the-scenes battle. As live broadcasts continue, Bradley can't quite escape the memory of the dig and the shadow of that phantasmal pursuer. A redemption arc where Bradley uses his wit, compassion, and showbiz grit to turn fear into triumph.